Welcome to raigurkul.com. In this video, we'll discuss about exploratory testing is a type of software testing where test cases are not created in advance, but testers check system on fly and based on this experience, they will verify how much time it will take to complete the testing and note down the ideas about what to test before test execution. The focus of exploratory testing is more on testing as a thinking activity. Exploratory testing is widely used in agile models and all is about discovery, investigations, and learning. In it emphasizes personal freedom and responsibility of individual tester. So we'll discuss here what is exploratory testing, when we use exploratory testing, how to perform this type of exploratory testing, advantage and disadvantage. At the end, I will show you how to do this type of exploratory testing by using one example. So please be available from start to end of this video. And if you want to learn about software testing, please watch my complete playlist of software testing where I've already added more than 50 plus video. If you think so, this will be useful, please share within your circle. Let's begin. So first of all, what is exploratory testing? As I said, before starting any testing, when we don't have any requirement documents and we have to just go ahead with the flow, then generally exploratory testing will be introduced. In it means we don't have any requirement before starting the testing. The first, the tester will explore the application in possible ways and to understand the flow of the application and preparing a test documents and then testing the application. This approach is called as exploratory testing. So generally, whenever any project start, they don't have the clear requirement document. In that case, the tester is verifying the existing applications. So let's say this type of situation occurs either the end user is not too much active to prepare the requirement documents, and second is if internal organizations are looking forward to migrate from one applications to the other application. In that case, exploratory testing will be introduced. So generally in these two scenarios, there won't be any requirement documents are available. Because of that, the testers will test it into the existing system because these system is already present and the person or the development teams are migrating. It means might be they're upgrading the architecture level or might be they are upgrading into the database versions, and all these components will be there. So generally exploratory testing will be introduced. Now when we use exploratory testing, as I already discussed, whenever there is no requirement documents, it means the requirement documents are missing or early iterations is required, or the team has the experienced tester when we have a critical applications and new testers enter into the team. So in these three scenario, exploratory testing will be required. Now how to perform exploratory testing? So generally exploratory testing, first we have to identify the applications and understand the complete requirements of the application from the person who has a good product knowledge. So generally product owner or the end users who help us to understand about the complete requirement verbally or maybe through via email. In such type of scenario, gathering all the team members together and understanding the requirement help us to understand the complete requirement from test engineer and developers perspective. So multiple groups call will be required. Then we will explore the application, write the necessary documents, and this documents is sent to the domain expert to cross verify this documents is perfectly fine or not, or do we need any changes, or this is what they are expecting to be built for the end user. and based on that applications or knowledge taking helping to the competitive product which is already launched in the market. It means comparison of the product is also required for doing the exploratory testing. So these all the scenario where we are performing and how to perform the exploratory testing. So competitive analysis will also be required, and doing the competitive analysis generally product owner will help or analysis team or AI person will help for doing this exploratory testing. Now, which all types of exploratory testing we have? There are three types of exploratory testing we have: freestyle, strategy based, and scenario based. Freestyle we are doing in such a way there is no structure defined. Without thinking anything, a tester can start testing without any particular rule. There is no maximum coverage and minimum coverage about the requirement, just doing ad hoc testing for the complete applications. If we want to get friendly with the application architecture or the flow, generally freestyle testing helps the test engineer to understand the complete application flow, how this is working, which all navigation points we have, which all documents or PDF will be required. Then if there is any upload section will be there, how to upload, if it is possible to upload in single click or we have to perform any other steps. So freestyle testing will help the testing team to understand how the application flow. So second part is strategy based. Generally, exploratory testing can be performed with the help of multiple testing techniques such as risk based, then the boundary value analysis, checking end to end, and equivalence partitioning. So generally, let's consider the example of login page. So in login page, if we have a requirement of three components, let's consider the maximum length of the password will be 8. Second will be if the minimum character allowed will be 3, and third is the password should have or should not have the uppercase letter. So this is a three example of verifying the boundary value analysis or equivalence partitioning. So here the person or the tester will create a scenario in such a way that should certify the maximum password length will be 8, which is a boundary value analysis. Then checking the second part, whenever we are entering the second components as a there is no uppercase letter will be required, second case, and third will be minimum character. So these all they have to understand and create the scenario based on that. The testing team should needs to take cover of these all scenario. Then it is done by the experienced tester because it is a required experience level. So how the behavior of data will change, how the flow or form architecture will be changed. Generally, domain expert will help them to draft the complete strategy about the product or the application. Third is scenario based. So generally, scenario based exploratory testing is performed with the help of multiple scenarios such as end-to-end test scenarios and real user scenario. So again, let's consider the same example of login page because every application is having a login page. So login page structure will be seen that conditions will be different because every organization is not setting these three parameters. They are also having some advanced built-in feature. Few of the login page are adding captcha to verify that robot is not doing login. So these all scenario we have to verify it based on the application. Then test engineer can find the defect and also check various set of possibilities for the multiple scenarios and their application knowledge while they have exploring the applications. Now, what all advantages of exploratory testing we have? So if test engineer using exploratory testing, he or she may get a critical bug early because in the testing we need the preparations or less preparations. So in this testing, we can also find those bugs which may have been missed in the test cases. This testing can be used to test the new features, whereas for the existing functionality, we will use the regression testing. If we have less time to test the application, exploratory testing will be our best options. For the test engineer, this testing requires a lot of concentrations to explore the applications and then draft this strategy. Then coming down to the disadvantage, generally in this type of testing, the chances of missing more, the test engineer will misunderstood the feature as a bug or bug as a feature. Then this is more time consuming. Generally, if we have requirement document, that will help the team to understand in a better way, because the requirement document is well crafted, which all conditions they have, and rework will again more important role here. So if any development teams or a testing team miss something, rework, the possibility of rework will be more. So these all are disadvantages. So before completing this, let's understand by using one example here. So if you can see here, this is a login page. Here we have two options. One is two text boxes, one for the username and second for the password. So generally, if we don't have the requirement for this, then definitely the person or the testing person has to see the screen. So this sign in page is not only having the email options, they are also having the options to log in with Facebook, Google or Apple account. Or if the person who already registers, they can enter the username and password. So if we have the requirement, definitely that will be easy. But if we don't have the requirement, generally the tester will consider we have only these sections like username, password and continue, or remember me and forget password and join now. So these all scenarios they will consider it. But if they will do exploratory testing, they will understand they we are also having a Facebook login feature as well as Google login and Apple login, and forget password and remember me. So this is how the person who is performing the exploratory testing, like verifying with the Facebook account, verifying with the Google account, verifying with the Apple account, and with the username and password. And if we are checking with the remember me, when the person who is trying to access this portal next time, they don't need to enter the credentials. Then again, forget password, if we will click on the forget password, that should navigate it to the reset password page. Then we have join now. If someone who don't have the account, they will create it by using join now. So this is how exploratory testing will be done. And once they will click on join now page, what will appear? So these are the navigations they will remember in mind and create the draft idea how they will test it. So this is all about exploratory testing. Hope you enjoyed this content. If you think so, we should include some more content related to the exploratory testing, please add in the comment sections. And if you think so this will be useful, don't forget to share within your circle. Thank you for watching.